On the second question pertaining to who authorized the biometric data collection by Worldcoin and whether or not the correct procedures were followed, Mr. Speaker, authorization of biometric data collection based on the Data Protection Act, Mr. Speaker, the government registered Worldcoin on 18th April 2023 as a data controller pursuant to that act and other attendant regulations. An entity processing personal data, Mr. Speaker, is required to identify itself with the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner by registering with the office, Mr. Speaker. And pursuant to the Data Protection Act 2019, an entity should therefore make an application for registration as a data controller where it determines the purpose and means of handling personal data. Conversely, an entity will make an application for registration as a data processor where it handles personal data on behalf of a data controller based on a contractual obligation with the data controller. An entity, further, Mr. Speaker, may register as a data controller and data processor at the same time. Informed by the above, Mr. Speaker, an application for a certificate of registration only signifies that the entity has complied with Section 18 and 19 of the Act for purposes of registration. But it does not in any manner endorse an entity's compliance with the Data Protection Act or its subsidiary regulations, nor is it a valid license for an organization to operate in Kenya or authorize the operations of an entity. What we are trying to say here, Mr. Speaker, is that there is a divergence between mere registration and operationalization in conformity to the law. Registration does not imply that a company operating in Kenya has been given a blanket authority to behave in the manner that it deems appropriate. So, in terms of operationalization, there are attendance rules and regulations and even guidelines which, upon registration, an entity is expected to